You're in Braves country. Welcome back, y'all. It is 3-1 New York. We're here in the top of the first, one on, nobody out. Mets are at the plate, and Francisco Alvarez is your batter. We'll get caught up here in a second trying to get all my different devices switched over to the Mets and Giants. If you're just joining us and weren't with us in the first game, we're coming over from Braves Rangers. As the first pitch on the way is a pitch right there at the knees off of that 2-0, and it's 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Pitch on the way, outside wide, Logan Webb misses. Ball 3-1. We'll go over the scoring here in a second as soon as we get caught up. The 3-1 swing. That ball sizzled into center field, excuse me. Lee's got it. He'll flip it into the infield. But the runner at first was on the move. And they've got runners on the corners and nobody out. Hard hit ball by Alvarez. That came right down the chute. The Mets have runners on the corners and nobody out. Go ahead and clean this screen up for you, man. They're asleep in San Francisco. They're not paying attention at all. They got to clean that thing up. Give me 1 second. Let me get it straightened out here for you. Pitch on the way, down and in, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Righty-lefty matchup. Logan Webb, their ace, man, he is on the ropes here. He's already given up 7 hits. The 2-0 outside wide, 3-0. We're here in the 4th inning. The Giants trail by only 2. He's in danger of walking the bases loaded. There's nobody out. Logan Webb has thrown 63 pitches. The pitch on the way, inside, ball 4. So he'll head on down to first. And that'll get a mound visit. Go out there and try to talk Logan Webb in as we've got Tyrone Taylor, the number 9 hitter, coming to the plate. Missed it earlier. Josh Naylor was traded to the Mariners. McMahon was traded to the Yankees. Long mound visit. I'm surprised they didn't rush him off earlier, but they'll head back to the dugout. And Tyrone Taylor, who's 0 for 1, comes to the plate. First pitch on the way is right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Really need a double play here, but the 0-1 outside wide, 1-1. More than anything else, Logan Webb could use a strikeout. One count. Well inside. Bad call by home plate umpire. But it's 1-2. The 1-2. Tried to get him to chase. Down and away, 2-2. 2-2 count. I mean, if he's going to give him that low strike inside, I don't know why he's not going for that one. The 2-2 swing, chops it over to short. It's going to be a 6-4-3. Does not get the double play. Beatty comes home to score. A little surprised on that one that Adames didn't try to come home. It's a short hopper, and the way he had to underhand that with his momentum going away from him, heading away from second base, there was really no chance to get the center fielder, Tyrone Taylor, busting it down the line. So righty-lefty matchup now. Goes back to the top of the order. They'll flip it over to first to keep Taylor close by. Brandon Nimmo, who's 1 for 2 with a double and a run score, stands at the plate. The infield is back and to the right. First pitch on the way. There goes the runner down to second. Do they get him? They do not, and it's a stolen base for Tyrone Taylor and the Metropolitans. It's 4-1. They got runners on second and third and just one out. They don't want to challenge it. Wasn't a great jump, but it was a running jump. He just kind of shuffled his feet and kept going. Logan Webb never looked him back. Pretty good throw on the play to get that. Pretty good arm on Bailey down there to get that play a lot closer than it probably should have been. So the infield comes in now. First pitch on the way off of that is swung on and fouled straight back. It's 1-1. 1-1. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. 92 upstairs. 1-2. Big at bat, or 1-2. Big at bat here because they'd love to keep them right where they're at. The 0-2 count. Outside wide, 1-2. We do have a couple of folks warming up in the Giants bullpen. One-two swing. That ball sliced into center field. That's down for a base hit. One run will score. Here comes Tyrone Taylor to the plate, and he will score. And the Mets have jumped out to a 6-1 lead. Hard hit ball. I mean, it just looks like Logan Webb is just not placing the ball. That pitch got all of the plate. Looked like they were going for the sinker, but it did not sink it. It just leveled itself across the plate. Basically a T-ball pitch. You got runner at first, one out. First pitch on the way is right there below the knees for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Runner goes. And that base is stolen. The Mets are stealing early and often. The 1-1 swing fouls it away. 1-2. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down. So Lindor down on strikes. And that'll bring Juan Soto to the plate. Juan Soto, 1 for 2 with a double in the third. Righty-lefty matchup here. First pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, 92. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing, slices it foul. So an 0-2 count. Webb steps off the mound. He is sitting at almost, this will be his 80th pitch, and we're only in the 4th inning. The 0-2. Misses high. 1-2. The 1-2. Caught, looking strike 3. Got him with the sinker up top. Even then, I'd say Webb wasn't shooting for that spot. We'll be back in a flash, see if the Giants can get back in it. Bottom of the 4th we go. The Yaz leads it off for the G-Men.
We just all broke mentally this year. Things got so bleak. We started watching the WNBA. Was that what happened? Like, I don't.
Oh my God, I'm so hungover. I've never been this hungover. Are we dead?
I feel great. I ran 5K this morning.
Really?
No, I threw up in the shower.
In 2008, Pat McAfee kicked a 52-yard
field goal against Cincinnati to send the game into overtime. It was a night game in Morgantown and about 38 degrees outside.
The Battle of Gettysburg took place
on July 1st to July 3rd of 1863.
That is correct. This morning, your wife texted you to pick up what item on your way home?
Mayonnaise.
From the start of 1961, history was being made as John F. Kennedy, the country's youngest ever elected president, was sworn into office. From the space race to the building of the Berlin Wall to the dance craze known as the Twist, a new day was dawning, and baseball was also coming to an historic crossroads.
For 60 years, from 1901 through 1960, the two major leagues had each consisted of 8-team leagues, and they played a very predictable set number of games, 154.
But in 1961, that would change as the American League added two new teams. The Washington Senators were moving to Minnesota to become the Twins, only to be replaced by a new Senators franchise in D.C. There was also a new team in Los Angeles, the Angels. And as a result of the expansion, the AL would play 162 games instead of 154. The National League was still on a 154-game schedule and wouldn't expand until 1962. But the NL had already changed in a different way. The league had been tapping into a deeper pool of talent and had won 5 of the last 7 World Series titles, including 1960.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. It's an 0-2 count to Yastrzemski. Righty-lefty matchup. Clay Holmes is at 67 pitches. He's got a high pitch in his own right, but has only given up the 1 run. He has sprinkled 4 hits around. The 0-2 in the dirt, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Pitch on the way. Inside, almost gets him. 2-2. Good to see everybody coming over from Game 1 to Game 2. It's your American Rebel Beer doubleheader. Freaky Friday double feature, as they're calling it. The 2-2 in the dirt. Full count. Standing on deck is Flores. The payoff pitch. Swung on, chopped on the ground, over towards second. Backhanded. It's going to be a 4-3 putout. Beatty to Alonso. One away. One up, one down. It's interesting they've got Beatty playing second base tonight. He came up as a third baseman. First pitch on the way is outside wide. To Flores. Wilmer Flores, it's 1-0. 1-0. Right there for a strike, 1-1. Here we go again. We're an inning in. We're already talking about Chipper taking over the Braves. The one swing, chops it foul. I swear it's like we have no other ideas except for to grab a couple of the big names from the past and say, what about them? Can they manage this team? Surprised Dale Murphy's name isn't mentioned in like the general manager position. 1-2 count. Holmes brings it. Outside wide. 2-2. The 2-2. Swing, chops it over to third, but it's just going to go foul. The 2-2. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, James Fisher. Let's do it. Holmes steps off the bump. And he's had some long innings, only giving up one run. The 2-2. Chops it over to short. It's bobbled for a second by Lindor, but he gathers it, and Flores does not run well. 6-3 put out, 2 away. Washington's not likely either. I mean, he's under contract, number one. Number two, he's not even managing right now. He's in bad health. Jung Ho Lee, the batter. Righty lefty. First pitch on the way is a P at the knees on the inner cut. It's on 1. The 0-1 swung on, chopped over to second. And that's going to be an easy 3-1 putout. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country Radio. It's Giants and Mets night. Freaky Friday double feature.
Bad credit, no problem. Or you dead? Ghost credit. I'm going to get a Subaru.
Please tell me I'm not the only person that does this ridiculous. If I'm in the middle of doing something and another task pops up that requires my immediate attention, I will go into that room where said task needs to be completed, but I won't turn the lights on so that I can focus and hurry up and do that one little minute task so I can get back to what I was originally doing. But my brain wants to just start a bunch of tasks in that new room we just walked into, so I just end up doing a bunch of damn tasks in the dark.
And introduce yourself. My name is Michael with a B, and I've been afraid of insects my entire life. Stop. Where? Where's the B?
Johnny has 19 bottles of this soap, and he gets Gina. Wait, why does Johnny have so many soaps? Mind your business!
So I am confusion. Why is this one Kansas, but this one is not Arkansas? America, explain! Explain, what do you mean in Arkansas?
And why do you want to be a librarian? Shh. Oh my God, you're hired.
Grew up in a really small town, El Segundo, just south of the LA airport. And it seemed like every day of the summer at 9 o'clock, me and my brothers would go up to the corner. We'd hitchhike down to Manhattan Beach. And pretty much every day we were at the beach and body surfing and just kind of hanging out.
George was a little bit of a slacker as a kid. It was his brother, Ken, who was the All-American boy.
Ken Brett, 5 years older than George, was the 4th overall pick in the 1966 draft, who just a year later would pitch in the '67 World Series at age 19 and go on to a 14-year big league career.
Welcome back. They got a right-hander in now for Webb. First pitch on the way is swung on. That ball is ripped over to short, but line drive caught by Adames. Good play. One away. Tristan Beck in for Logan Webb. So if you took any prop bets or he's on your fantasy team, he spit the bit tonight. 4 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Ugh. Tristan Beck, ex-starter. First pitch on the away to McNeil is off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup, the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Kind of a half-hearted swing. One and one. A 1-1 count. Kicks and fires. Bender right inside. Just missed the zone. 2-1. Man, if he can get that thing to hit the zone, that's nasty. It's a curveball that just kind of dives in under your hands. The 2-1. Tried it again. That time it missed well inside. 3-1. Three 3-1 count. Called for a low strike. He does not like it. McNeil had flipped the bat and was heading to first. Full count. Mets lead at 6-1. Yeah, I don't think they're trading Nick Kurtz, Nick, but we can dream, can't we? The payoff pitch. Swing! That ball's belted down the right field line, but foul. Honestly, for what the Braves need, I would love to have Jacob Wilson, but we're not getting him either. The payoff pitch, swung on, chops it down the first base line. That is foul. I think it hit off his foot. Y'all haven't seen that Jacob Wilson kid play shortstop for the A's. He is unbelievable. Last time I checked in on him, he was hitting around 330. He's a rookie. And he's got some pop, too. He's got like 8 home runs, 9 home runs, something like that. Good defensive shortstop, but he rakes. If he gets 1 hit in a game, he normally gets 2. I mean, he is one of those types of hitters. The payoff pitch, down below the knees, ball 4. So Beck walks the second batter of the inning, 1 on, 1 out. Yeah, they've been talking about, well, hell, I've been talking about Skip Shoemaker since last year. I couldn't believe he got fired from the Marlins. The Marlins are just a mess, and yet somehow they're winning right now. First pitch on the way to McNeil. Not McNeil. The new batter, Beatty, is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. McNeil's at first. But just knowing how the Braves do it, they'll probably grab some dud that's already in our system. The 0-1, swung on, chops it foul. It's 0-2. Calling that a sweeper, but it looked like a fast pitch with wiffle ball action. Even Beatty has a look on his face like, I want to check that man for an emery board or something in his back pocket. He's doing some witchcraft on the mound. The 0-2 count. Beck comes set. Lifts the glove and brings it. Swing! That wiffle ball comes diving in there. I'm telling you, they're calling that a sweeper, but it's like it pauses and then dives into the left-handed batter. Someone with some real velocity could master that thing. That would be deadly. That's not a sweeper. The 0-2. Outside wide, 95 miles an hour, 1-2. One-two count. Pitch on the way, just misses the zone. Top shelf. The 2-2, swing, slices it down the line, foul, out of play. Iron, what are you talking about Benji Gill about? Are you talking about is him being a manager for the Braves? Is that the context that you're saying? The 2-2, outside wide, full count. Payoff pitch, swing, slaps it away, down foul, we'll do it again. What's he up to nowadays? Because I know he used to manage the Angels. The payoff pitch, caught, looking strike three. Threw that wiffle ball on the outer edge of the plate. 2 down. It's an interesting name. I don't think he's coaching anywhere right now, right? He was the guy that they fired, I believe, if I have it right in my head, the guy that they fired when they brought Ron Washington in. First pitch on the way from Beck is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Francisco Alvarez, the batter. The 1-0. Right there at the knees. 2-0. Two-0 count. Oh, he's still in the Mexican League? I mean, catchers are usually pretty good managers, so I'm not against it per se. As the 2-0 goes to the backstop. McNeil heads up to second base. Did they call that a strike? It looks like he might have went around. They did not. 3-0. I don't think he's currently managing anywhere, is he? Trying to look it up now, but I don't see him managing anywhere right now. The 3-0 swing, hits it on the ground over to short. Damas has it, he'll flip it to first, and that'll end the inning. So the Mets are kept off the board. We go to the bottom of the fifth. The Giants see if they can climb back in this one. It's 6-1, bottom of the fifth.
Repeat after me. I don't need validation from strangers on the internet. From strangers on the internet. All together now. I don't need validation from strangers on the internet. I'm gonna make a TikTok.
I'm not going to the hospital just because she decided to get a chest piercing. What even is that?
Stop calling it a chest piercing. She was stabbed multiple times.
Dad, I've been thinking, and I think your generation and mine aren't really that different. Your grandpa used to feel the same about you that you feel about us, right?
So what?
Oh wait, see, we're the same.
We're different. At the end of the day, Grandpa and I could still sit down and talk. We had common ground like loyalty to family and country. You guys don't have.
The NL won 5 of the last 7 World Series titles, including 1960. That year, the Fall Classic opened at Forbes Field.
Wednesday, October 5th, dawned bright and sunny. It was perfect World Series weather.
Representing the AL in '60 were the mighty Yankees, led by their power hitters Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris. Their opponents from the NL were perennial also-rans, the Pirates. Pittsburgh hadn't been in the series since 1927, when they had been pounded by the famed Murderers Row Yankees, led by Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig.
The 1960 Yankees showed up for that World Series with the idea that was going to be another of their 4-game sweeps, just the same as they had done to the Pirates in 27.
But these Pirates proved much more difficult to put away. Led by Mantle and Maris, the Yanks outscored the Bucks 55-27 in the series. But in the bottom of the 9th of a classic Game 7, Pittsburgh's Bill Mazeroski shocked the baseball world.
We just will never forget that moment. Anyone who was there or any of the players that participated in that game will never forget that sight with that ball clearing that fence at that time.
Welcome back. We head to the bottom of the 5th. The Giants grab the sticks. First pitch on the way is a strike just above the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1, righty-righty matchup. Pitch on the way. Swing, fouls it straight back. It's 0-2. (0-2) count. Oof, Connecticut. The 0-2, high and out of the zone. 1-2. You anywhere near that dumpster fire that they call Bristol? Where they're slowly killing the sports world. The 1-2. Check swing. Did he go around? He did not. 2-2. Iron lung. We might need him. The 2-2 in the dirt. 3-2. Heck, if you got him in your contacts, tell him to buy the team. Something tells me he wouldn't be too happy with just kind of sitting middling around. The payoff pitch, swing, slaps it through the hole, and that's a base hit. So, a leadoff single for the Giants. And we'll see where this heads us.
This is a reminder.
Whoops. There we go. Patrick Bailey, the batter. First pitch on the way is swung on and slapped back foul. It's 0-1. I've actually always kind of liked the Giants. I think it's just because I know that they are the Dodgers' rival. They're the biggest rival for the Dodgers, and I just grew up hating the Dodgers because they were in our division years ago. The 0-1 right there at the knees, 1-1. So 1-1 count. Man, you talk about being would Braves country, I mean, would they come for Braves country if he bought the Braves? The 0-2 outside wide. Oh man, you think there's protesting now? They would be protesting every single tomahawk chop and anything else they could think of. He bought the Braves. The 0-2 count. Righty-lefty matchup, runner at first and nobody out. Comes set, kicks and fires, outside wide, 1-2. And you know he'd dig his heels in because we saw his response to the Washington Commanders / Redskins name. The 1-2. Swing rips that one into right field. That's through for a base hit. So runners at first and second. And nobody out here to start the bottom of the fifth. Giants might have something going here. Clay Holmes, who I mentioned it earlier, first of all, he's at a high pitch count. He's at 90 pitches now as they make a quick mound visit to him. And that's really just to buy time because they did not have anybody up in the bullpen. Looked like, I didn't see the jersey number, but it looked like Brazaban was getting his glove to warm up. Runners on first and second, nobody out. And Clay Holmes is sitting at 90 pitches. He's only in the fifth inning. He's trying to get out of this jam, but you got Helio Ramos, who's the leadoff hitter, and then on deck is Rafael Devers. Willie Adames will follow. Matt Chapman in the hole. Or behind him, excuse me. First pitch on the way is high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. High and inside, 2-0. I've been saying that for years that we need a billionaire, someone who wants to win, to buy the Braves. Because we've been owned by corporations for the last 25, 30 years. Pitch on the way, swung on, chops it down the third base line. It's 2-1. We'll pull the screen back so you can see any kind of action on the base paths. Why it's so pulled back. It's a weird set that they have here in this one. The 2-1 pitch, swing, pops it up. Can of corn in the infield. Lindor waves everybody off. He'll make the catch. One away. One down, but Rafael Devers comes to the plate. First pitch on the way, outside wide. It's 1-0. Devers, 3 for 9 lifetime against Clay Holmes. I'm a little surprised they're letting him face him here. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a double to right. 1-0. Misses high, 2-0. And they have money, Nicholas, but they don't have buy the Braves kind of money. You have to get someone. They could buy a piece of it. 2-0 count. Kicks and fires. Bender on the outer edge, 2-1. I mean, what you'd really need to do is just convince. I feel like if you convinced Elon Musk that it was a travesty that the Braves weren't better, you might be able to convince him to buy the team and go all in. The 2-1 pitch, outside wide, 3-1. I don't know how we get to that point. I don't know who starts the campaign, but I feel like if you could get in his ear and he made it like an actual thing that he cared about, next thing you know, it would happen in the drop of a hat. The 3-1. Drops a Bender right there at the knees, 3-2. Full count. Holmes brings it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Man, oh man alive. That was a big strikeout for Clay Holmes. Devers. That was a cement mixer. I don't know how he missed that. He must have been sitting on something else. He was behind that pitch. He tipped it into the glove of Alvarez, but he should have been in front of that pitch, not a tick behind. Two on, two out. Willie Adames. First pitch, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. I feel like the Giants need to come through here and get something on the board. It's a golden opportunity. Holmes, it, by the way, he's at 101 pitches. They're leaving him out there. The 0-1. Down below the knees. Good take. 1-1. 1-1 count. Brings it inside. 2-1. First and second, 2 outs. The 2-1 pitch. Swing, pops it up, and that'll be an easy out. That'll end the inning. I'll never quite understand why they gave that man almost $200 million. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Hey there, it's day 4 out here on the boat. You know me, living out here on the water till tax season's over, taking advantage of that maritime law, just like George Washington said. I ain't got no water, but I got a 48 pack of Miller Lite, and I'm living like a king, baby. God bless America, and screw you communists if you don't like how we do it out here.
There is a weather advisory in your area. Be on the lookout for thunderstorms, hail, and Cyclone Joe Williams. He got the nickname Smokey and Cyclone due to the impressive velocity on his fastball. He had a record of 20-7 in games against MLB stars and postseason barnstorming exhibitions. He once threw a no-hitter in a game against the New York Giants in 1917, the same team that won the National League pennant that year. Ty Cobb once said he would have been a 30-game winner in the Major League. In 1952, the Pittsburgh Courier asked a panel of veterans and sports writers to name the best Negro League pitcher of all time. Williams won by 1 vote over Satchel Paige.
The next day in Game 4, the Cardinals would take a commanding 5-1 lead into the 7th. But with 2 outs and Suter unavailable, the St. Louis bullpen fell apart against the relentless Brewer bats.
Whitey not feeling apparently that he wants to use Suter today. He had the lead, didn't protect it with his ace.
Base hit. Brewers will take the lead. 1 run in. 2 runs are in. 7-5 Milwaukee.
The Cardinals would have no counterpunch and lose Game 4. Then, in Game 5, despite out-hitting the Brewers 15-11, they'd strand 12 runners and lose 6-4. The series was going back to St. Louis, but the Brewers just needed 1 more win.
Busch Stadium in St. Louis, 53,000 partisan Cardinal fans for Game 6. The Milwaukee Brewers are just 1 game away from the championship. The Cardinals, with a win, would force a final Game 7.
Join the Country Club today. Help support Braves Country Radio. Join the Country Club today. Six to 1 your score, top of the 6th. First pitch on the way to Ronnie Mauricio is down below the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 swung on, banged on the ground over to first. It's going to be a easy put out for Devers. He steps on the bag. 1 up, 1 down. First pitch on the way, swinging, and that ball's going to get lined out to left field. It's going to be F7 in your scorecard. And 2 up, 2 down for the Metropolitans. Mauricio and Tyrone Taylor down to start the 6th inning. If you're just joining us, the Mets scored 2 in the first. Giants answered back with 1 in the first. They were both held scoreless in the second. Mets added 1 in the 3rd inning when Lindor homered to right field. And then in the 4th inning, the Mets added 3 more runs, making it 6-1. First pitch on the way to Brandon Nimmo is off the plate for a ball. It's 1-0. Right there for a strike, 1-1. One count, swung on, chopped straight back to the backstop, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch, swing, slaps it foul. Do it again. The 1-2 count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ball gets away. So Bailey will have to flip it up to first, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. Giants will grab the bats. They still got a chance. We'll be back in a flash here on your double feature.
3 bases and cocaine, as far as that goes, I don't do it. Now, I'll take a drink. You know, every now and then I'll have a drink. And I will smoke a little red. I'll do some toot now. I'll do a little toot. You know, if somebody give it to me, offers it to me, I mean, you know, I just sound polite if you don't. So I do a little toot.
I'm 95% positive that there is footage of my naked body on the internet with my knockers just swinging in the wind. Like, do your boobs hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Can you tie them in a knot? Can you tie them in a bow? Can you swing them over your shoulders like a continental soldier? Well, I think my neighbors might have the answer to that because apparently they have a new ring cam. I don't know how long they've had a ring cam, but I'm concerned because I walk around my apartment naked 24/7. So when I saw today that they had a ring cam, I don't know how long it's been up.
Just like it happened yesterday.
For the Yankees, it was the most painful of defeats.
After the Yankees lost that World Series, I wandered into the Yankees clubhouse. I looked over and Mickey Mantle was sitting there. He had his uniform top off, his undershirt, so to speak, and he just sat there because he had to pinch himself to feel out whether or not this really happened.
He was actually quiet in the clubhouse. He was embarrassed that Pittsburgh beat us.
Soon, the blame was pinned on the colorful but aging Yankee manager, Casey Stengel.
There is a program that's going on with the Yankees, and it has an annuity program, and the annuity program means that after a certain length of time, some people think you should retire.
Stengel had long been considered a master motivator, a genius who'd led New York to 10 pennants in 12 years. Now, as the 1961 season approached, the Yankees had to recover from a tough loss in the series and the loss of their skipper. And while the team still had high expectations, there were serious questions about whether they could reach them.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way from Brazoban, who comes into the ball game. The 6-1 lead is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 right down the pipe, 0-2. Oh-2 count. Swing. Laces it towards right, but it's going to be right there for Soto. He'll make the catch. One away. Yeah, if y'all are talking about Ted Turner, he hasn't owned the Braves in 30 years. There's always a big miss. People thought that he continued to own them for a long time. First pitch on the way is off the plate. The left-handed back of Mike Yastrzemski. It's 1-0. 1-0. Down and in 2-0. AOL is really the one that really screwed the Braves over. They signed a media deal that is still alive to this day before they ever sold the team to Liberty Media. The 1-0. Right there for a strike. 1-1. I believe we've got one more season of that nonsense, and then once that breaks open, the Braves is the 1-1 pitch. Swing, chops it down the line. Foul. It's 1-2. They are going to be on an open market to be able to sell their content to the highest bidder, and they're going to get a heck of a lot more money. Is the 1-2 outside wide? They're getting just a little over $1 million a year for their content on what is now FanDuel. It's been handed off so many damn times, but it's absurd because right after the Braves signed that deal, a couple of years later, the Angels signed a deal for $25 million a year. And the payoff pitch swung on, chopped over to second, and that's going to be booted by Acuna. Little Acuna kicks the ball around. He was brought in for Mauricio, which is ironic because they brought him in for defensive purposes with the lead, and he just spits the bit and kicks the ball around, and the Giants have a runner at first and one out. So 1 on, 1 out. Your batter is Wilmer Flores, who's 0 for 2, batting .244 on the year, 12 home runs, 59 RBI. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Down below the knees. You go around, he did, 0-2. The 0-2 count. Swing, pops it up. High back behind the backstop. Alvarez gives chase. He's going to have it. Foul territory, 2 down. It's funny how people still reference TBS and the Braves. It's been almost 20 years since they've been on there. And even at that point, they had cut their coverage down because of FCC laws. They're going to throw it over to first as the first pitch is, I believe it was called for a strike. They throw it to first to keep the runner close by. It's 0-1. Jung Ho Lee, the batter, righty-lefty, the 0-1, swing and a miss. It's 0-2. .02 count. A little bit of delay as a random ball ended up in the field of play. The 0-2 swing, that ball slapped down the left field line, and that's going to be in for a base hit. Nimmo has a problem with the ball. He'll finally get a hold of it, but they're going to have runners at second and third and 2 outs. That ball almost got all the way underneath his glove. He tagged it barely with his glove to slow it down. If not, they might all still be running. First pitch on the way from Brazoban to Casey Schmidt, who's 1 for 2. He's inside for a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0. Pops it back foul. 1-1. Single right here would cut this to a 6-3 lead. One count. Swing! That ball's laced down the line, but foul. It's 1-2. One, 2, down and away. Did he go around? He did not. 2-2. Two count. Outside wide, 3-2. There was an FCC law that was passed in the 90s during the Clinton administration that changed how broadcast rights were able, and I'm not putting it all on Clinton because it was a joint effort, but it changed as the payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll end the end. I'll explain more, but it changed how you could broadcast ball games. And when that happened, things started to unfold. That's one of the reasons why Ted Turner sold the team. We'll be back in a flash. The Braves radio right here. It's Giants 1, Mets 6. Ugh. We're hoping for a good game.
So I found out last night that my husband's been cheating on me. Yeah. So we go to this party. I did not want to go, but he was really adamant on going. Now I know why. I'm at the bar getting a drink, and I get approached by this girl. We'll name her Rachel for privacy reasons.
Don't privacy her. Expose her like old man balls in male locker room.
And she starts raving about this guy she just started seeing. And then she says he's actually here tonight. And I'm like, I want to meet him. So she points behind me. And I'm like, because the only one standing behind me is my husband.
What an Indian TV drama way of finding out.
He's married to me. Rachel puts her hand on my shoulder and says, I know. And as that's happening, my husband comes up behind me, puts his hand on my other shoulder and goes, we've been meaning to talk. So I say, you know what? Don't talk to me. I'm leaving. And then I woke up and I wanted to confront my husband about it, but it was 2 a.m. and he was sleeping.
As the Yankees assembled for training camp in March 1961, they were greeted by a new manager for the first time since 1949, as Ralph Houck had replaced the legendary Casey Stengel.
That spring, there was a lot of writers came to me and said, what did I learn from Casey? And I said, well, nothing, like how to manage my own way.
But Houck was very different than most expected, as the former war hero did not have a military approach in mind on the diamond.
As a World War II Ranger and winner of the Bronze Star, the Silver Star, and the Purple Heart, people think of you as a pretty tough guy. Are you going to be a tough manager?
I think, Tom, that I'm going to be a ball player's manager.
Houck had played with or coached most of the 61 Yankees and was well acquainted with their roster. His first change involved Whitey Ford, a Yankee since 1950. Ford had been long considered the game's top clutch pitcher.
Welcome back. Matt Gage, the left-hander, is on. He fires the first pitch. Teardrop at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Inside almost gets him 1-1. 1-1 count. Matt Gage, 8 2/3 innings so far this year with a 0 ERA. Those were probably all against the Braves, though. Lefty-righty matchup. The pitch on the way to Lindor, down and away, 2-1. 2-1 count. Swing, chops it foul, 2-2. So by the early 2000s, after that FCC law got changed, the Braves had to start paying out, and then they started making even more changes to where it opened the door to where you could only carry X amount of games on what was in a superstation. The 2-2 swing and a missed strike 3. And if you remember, at the same time, the Cubs were going through this. And so for the longest time, for a few years, the Braves could only carry, I think it was 100 games. It was somewhere in that neighborhood on TBS in the early 2000s. So though you probably remember, no, I watched it all. No, you weren't watching it all the time. At that point, they had to lease it out to Fox Sports 1, I think is what or Fox Sports South, something like that. And then they got to the point where they could hardly carry. The number got less and less, and that's when they invented Peachtree TV, which was only, back then you could only get it if you were in that market. Is the 0-1, swing, pops it up, high in the sky. Very shallow right field. The second baseman, Casey Schmidt, has the catch, 2 down. And then eventually they went to something called Braves TBS Extra, and those only aired on Friday and Saturday nights. The rest was being carried by Fox Sports and the Peachtree TV. And by the time you hit like 06, 07, the Braves were only allowed to carry 70 games on TBS. The rest was on Fox Sports. I think they eventually called it Sports South, but at the time, I think it first started at Fox Sports, something like that. And then Turner South, and then Sports South. You get the gist of it. And by 07, 08, somewhere in that neighborhood, they had taken it all away. So it wasn't that TBS didn't want to carry it anymore. It was that their hands got tied by FCC laws. The 1-1, outside wide, 2-1. And that's when it was right before the takeover of Liberty Media. That's when AOL signed that horrific media rights deal that had rollovers and options, and that's why we're still in it. The 2-1 banged on the ground over to short. It's going to be a 6-3 putout, and that'll end the inning. So the Mets go down in quietly. We go to the bottom of the 7th here in San Fran. The hometown team trailing by 5. This date in 1890, in his last minor league appearance, 23-year-old Cy Young strikes out 18 batters en route to tossing a no-hitter in a tri-state contest against McKeesport in Pennsylvania. The right-hander will amass a major league 511 victories during his 22-year career on his way to the Hall of Fame in the major leagues. This date in 1908, in a confrontation of future inaugural Hall of Famers Honus Wagner Welcome back. First pitch swinging. Garcia pops it up. Bailey pops it up. Garcia, the pitcher. It's going to be an F3 in your scorecard as Alonso grabs it. 1 down. Bottom of the 7th. Giants trail by 5. Yeah, it's funny, Southern guy. I think WGN was Channel 20 at my house, too, growing up. I'm almost positive. First pitch on the way is up top for a ball. It's 1-0. Yeah, John, it'll be Friday, the doubleheader. Give me a second, I'll look at who it is. 1-0, swung on, lifted into left field, drifting over, making the catch. 1 down. We were in Jacksonville, Florida, so I don't know where you are, Southern guy. We were in Jacksonville, Florida, and I remember, I don't know why, but that just popped in my head when you mentioned it. They were Channel 20 on our cable for a long time. I'm trying to remember what TBS was. I think it was 23, and then the Fox Sports, when it showed up, ended up being 28. First pitch on the way is a strike at the knees to Rafael Devers. It's 0-1. It's a little confusing because I moved to Tennessee, so I get those numbers mixed up. I definitely know it was 28 Sports South in Tennessee for the longest time, the 0-1. Fouls back 0-2. That was when we had cable. I still remember when I had TBS, and that was a long time ago. That was Channel 247. TNT was 245. But I had that. I mean, that was right around the time that we were just talking about the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, man, you can't even get a story in this game. Giants are striking out left and right, popping out. Man, starting to think we're just watching the Braves in orange uniforms. We'll be back in a flash. Giants trail by 5.
Good morning, everyone. God has let me live another day, and I am about to make it everyone's problem.
There are 2 types of people in this world. There's people that want to get drunk with me, and then there's people that have got drunk with me that never want to do it again. It's all fun and games till we're under an upside-down four-wheeler. And then it's, why did you do that? What the is wrong with you?
Here are some facts and stats so crazy you'll think I'm lying. Hoyt Wilhelm hit a home run in his first career at bat, and then never hit another home run for the rest of his career. The first Tommy John surgery recipient inducted in the Hall of Fame was not a pitcher. It was Paul Molitor, who had Tommy John surgery in 1984. With a minimum of 20 decisions, the opposing pitcher with the best lifetime win-loss record against the New York Yankees is none other than Babe Ruth. In 3,364 at-bats, Mark Lemke was never hit by a pitch. Mariano Rivera, otherwise known as Mo, wore the number 42. If you look up the atomic number 42 in the periodic table, it is also Mo. The 1981 Reds had the best record in baseball, but didn't make the playoffs. Art Shamsky is the only player in Major League history to hit 3 home runs in a game in which he was not in the starting lineup.
I don't want to learn any more life lessons. My character is developed. Go away.
Question is, if there's one game you want to win, who do you want pitching it? And the answer consistently was Whitey Ford.
Many felt that Stengel had cost the Yankees the 1960 World Series by not starting Ford in the opening game against Pittsburgh. So while Ford shut out the Bucks twice, he wasn't available to pitch the 7th and deciding game.
That 7th game, which we lost 10-9, I said, that's the game I should be pitching. I was so damn mad.
Learning the lesson from the Pirate loss, Houck was determined to get the most out of Ford. During the previous regular seasons, Stengel had often held Ford back to pitch against the league's toughest lineups. The new manager had other ideas.
Welcome back. So I think it was John asking, is the first pitch on the way from Bivens to Jeff McNeil is out of the zone, inside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 inside, quickly 2-0. Next Friday, the Braves are playing a 12:40 first pitch against the Reds in Cincinnati because they're leaving to go to Bristol the next day. Is it 2-0 right there on the knees? It's 2-1. So what we decided to do was to catch the Cubs game in action right after that game. So we'll get the second half of the Cubs game as our doubleheader next Friday. The 2-1 pops it up. High in the sky, can of corn. Catch is made. One down. So it'll be Braves in the first game, then we go to Wrigley Field. I hadn't even thought of it that way, but it's a true Superstation doubleheader, just like the old days. The following week, after Braves Marlins, it's Red Sox Padres. First pitch on the way, comebacker to the mound. Bivens has it, flips it, underhanded, and quickly 2 down. Two up, 2 down. First pitch from Bivens right across the zone, about belt high to Francisco Alvarez, is in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Starts him off with the sinker. The 0-1, cutter on the outer edge. It's 0-2. No 2 count. Okay, Southern. I was just wondering, because I know the smaller towns, they would grab their 0-2 outside wide 1 and 2. Because for the longest, I haven't watched local news in a long time, but here in Jacksonville, they would always reference the southern Georgia towns about their weather and whatnot. 1-2, just misses 2-2. Good frame by Bailey, but didn't get the call. 2-2 count. Brings it way outside wide, nowhere near the zone. Full count. So Francisco Alvarez, who just recently was recalled from AAA, digging in. The payoff pitch. Swing, lifts it. He got quite a bit of that one, but not all of it. It's going to die in the glove of Jung Ho Lee, and it's 3 up, 3 down. Mets go down in order. 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Maybe that's their lucky inning, too. We'll be back in a flash.
Mother thinking I can't live without them. Is your name Oxygen?
I've never seen a bartender efficiently run a bar remote.
It's like they're reading a remote in a different language.
Yeah.
And they can never just hold the remote in front of them.
You love France. You what? I love France. It's on. I hate France. I didn't know that one. France? How in the name of God can anyone hate France? They got beautiful women and they got wine and 400 different kinds of cheese. Yeah, so is Fort Worth.
Said that he has been demoted to the second most country Panthers player. How does it feel to take over the #1 spot right there?
Oh, man, I really and truly, man, I don't even think I'm country, man. That's what a lot of folks like to say. Man. I think I speak regular.
You think I'm a good dancer? Okay. What? You said I'd break it down.
And I said you're having a breakdown.
Well, what happened with Ralph, it was funny. He said to me, could you pitch every 4th day? And I says, you're damn right I can.
Houck knew that the other key for the team was Mantle. His approach to his top slugger was more psychological.
When we come out of spring training, Ralph had told me, whatever you do is what we're going to do this year. Now, I was really up, like a high school football player, you can get up. And he started making me feel like that I really was the best there was.
Many thought Mantle already was the best. A Yankee since 1951 and the driving force behind their latest dynasty.
He threw better than anybody ever threw in baseball. He hit baseballs further than anybody had ever hit in baseball.
He hit these long, majestic, towering fly balls. Seemed like miles and miles away.
Mantle hits a high fly ball. It's deep left center field. It's way out there. It's way out there, and it is in there. I mean it's in there.
Welcome back. Garcia out there for another inning of work. He'll take on Willie Adames. First pitch on the way. He's off the plate for a strike. It's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. The 0-1. Swing pops it up. Can of corn. Shallow right field. One down. Yeah, I'm starting to think there must be one heck of a shindig going on in San Francisco tonight. These both teams, they're just swinging. Let's get this game over. First pitch on the way from Garcia is off the plate for a ball. It's 1-0. Right there at the knees. 1-1. I know we've got a game coming up on a doubleheader. The Giants and Padres are coming up soon. And then we've got Giants and Dodgers at some point, too. I don't have it all in front of me. I just have the next few games. 1-1. Right there at the knees. 1-2. One-two count. Pitch on the way. Did he go around? They're going to check down the line. He did not. 2-2. So Matt Chapman has worked his way back into a 2-2 count. The 2-2. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Y'all asking about Brandon Ayuk. He's supposed to be doing pretty well. All the reports that I've read, he's doing pretty well. They said that there's a chance he's actually going to start the season in game 1. I don't think it's likely, but there is an outside chance. First pitch on the way is a bender at the knees to Yastrzemski. The Yaz is 1 for 3. The 0-1. Right there on the outer edge, 0-2. Might have been a little bit off the plate. No 2 count. Got the Hall of Fame induction happening on Sunday. I don't know why they do that. They do it right in the middle of all the games, the 0-2 and the dirt 1-2. We're going to try to record it for y'all soon so y'all can hear the audio throughout the week, but it's ridiculous. It's like right in the middle of the Braves-Rangers game, and all the other games are going on for that matter. And they're doing the Hall of Fame inductions. The 1-2. Outside wide. Did not get the call. 2-2. I know it's in New York, and that's probably why they don't want to do it in the fall. But I really feel like you should at least try to push it into March, into the spring. The 2-2. Swing, fouls it straight back, we'll do it again. Either that or with the extended All-Star game that you have now, All-Star break, you know, we had Wednesday and Thursday where nothing was going on. You could have easily done a Hall of Fame induction on that Wednesday or Thursday. And you would have had the whole world watching because there was no, I mean, what are you going to watch? The ESPYs over the Hall of Fame? Get out of here. The 2-2, fouls it back, we'll do it again. Either that or Watch a doubleheader of Angel Reese's me bounds. The 2-2 count. 2 down, bottom of the 8th. Yaz trying to get something going here for the G-men. The pitch, swing, chops it down the line, foul. I don't remember the last time I actually watched the ESPYs. I've watched clips over the years, but I don't remember. I think it was like appointment TV. I remember Peyton Manning and I remember Timberlake doing a good job. But other than that, like, they've been awful. 2-2 count. Brings it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Giants go down in order once again. We go to the 9th. They got a fan. They just flashed over there. He was asleep with his head up against the wall. I thought they got a live clip of Snicker. We'll be back in a flash.
What's the fattest thing you ever did?
I ordered some food and it was so good to me. I wanted to have it again for dinner, so I reordered the same order an hour later, and it was the same delivery driver, so I asked my neighbor to go get my food because I didn't want them to know that it was for me twice.
My grandma had dementia before she passed away, and I will never forget one of the last things she told me. She looked at me dead in the eye, and she said, "You are the ugliest little boy I have ever seen." And that was like the last time she spoke to me.
What's your issue with seatbelts?
Seatbelts, I think it's just like I personally don't like them because I think, what if you got to jump out of the car and roll, duck and roll.
Roll Tide. What are some regular words that sound like they could be black names? I'll go first. Liquidity. There you go. Have a nice day.
Feeling when you send somebody a video that's 30 seconds long and they reply LOL like 3 seconds in, and now you don't know if you can ever trust them again.
And then there was the humor where we were playing in Tampa and Walt Weiss got hit.
And he gets bumped again. That's the 3rd hit batter today. This might be a retaliation.
Maddox is on the bench. He goes, "Hey, Walter." He goes, "Yeah, doggy." He goes, "Is it time?" He goes, "It's time." I said, "What's going on?" He goes, "I'm going to hit the first guy comes up." And I said, "Can you get the first 2 guys out first and maybe hit the 3rd guy?" He goes, "No, I'd rather lose the game than respect to my teammates."
Well, we'll see if Greg Maddox has an answer for that.
So Canseco come up. He hit him in the knee.
Jose Canseco thinks there was no accident to that pitch and is not very happy about it.
Here they come. Now they're gathering toward Maddox, right?
Maddox is trying to get the attention of Canseco.
Mad Dog looked at Canseco and said, "Walt told me to do it."
Welcome back. I'm ready for some trades to go down. I don't know about y'all, man. First pitch on the way is high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. The best joke that Gillum did in the ESPY thing was the one about the WNBA player. He told everybody she was a 4-time champion or whatever he said. And he goes, "No, I'm just messing with y'all." That was by far the best. 1-0 misses outside, 2-0. Duvall getting some work in. So he hasn't been on in a few days. 2-0 outside wide 3. I think his last game that he would have pitched in would have been the first game of the Braves series, because they didn't need him in the other 2 games, and they were just trying to get him work in first game of the Braves series. The 3-0 down below the knees, 3-1. See, Spencer, for some reason, I think that's why I've always liked the Giants, because for a long time they've been like this. They don't score a lot of runs, and I like that kind of baseball. They're normally a team that lives on pitching and fundamental baseball. Those Bruce Bochy years and whatnot, and honest engine, I was a big Buster Posey fan. Full count. Buster Posey can do no wrong in FSU fans' eyes, so there's that. The payoff pitch. Whoa! He hits Acuna right in the shoulder. That's what you get there. When your name's Acuna, you're going to get hit by a pitch. He's going to head on down to first. He appears to be all right. That could not have been fun. He's lucky. That was the slider that hit him. Whew, if that was his fastball. He's fortunate, though, because he dove down. When he dove down, he almost took it in the noggin. That's why they usually tell you to just turn your back and straighten up. He tried to dive underneath it, and he almost got hit in the head. First pitch on the way is up top. For a strike, it's 0-1. Oh, yeah, James. I forgot about that one. That was pretty good. But his delivery, his monologue, you could just tell he's not born for a monologue. It wasn't necessarily the jokes, it was the delivery. The 0-1. Misses up top, 1-1. There's no way ESPN writers wrote a couple of those. They might have written a lot of them. There's no way they wrote those. The 1-1. He had to have had some help there because they are going to lean in to their brand. So I seriously doubt anybody at ESPN wanted to make fun of the WNBA. 2-1 count. Righty-righty matchup. The pitch. Right there, top of the zone, 2-2. What I really hate, the Posey collision ended everything at home plate, but he wasn't behind that. That was Major League Baseball doing that. What was his name? Chase Utley really started it, if you think about it, because when they started doing the ones, was that 07 or 08? Dodgers METS series, the 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. When he pulled that number, and he still tries to claim that he didn't mean to. I mean, dude, you were heat-seeking missile taking that kid out. But that started it, and then the Posey thing happened afterwards. And I do miss, I miss all that. I miss the plays at the plate. I miss the turns at second. I understand why they did it, but man, I feel like they didn't have to be so, make it to where you couldn't break up a play. Like nowadays, if you even think about breaking up a play, you're probably going to get banged for it. The 1-0 from Duvall, right there, top of the zone for a strike. It's 1-1. Are you nuts? We're going to trade a Murphy for Acuna, Gary? Why? Because his last name? Get out of here. Better get more than that back from him. One count. Tell you what, if we do that, give me Brandon Nimmo, but I want them to pay the freight on his terrible contract. The 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2. You could have a combination of Profar and Nimmo playing left/DH, and I could live with that. But I'd still be trying to get Francisco Alvarez in the deal too, because I'm greedy. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. He is by far my favorite Met, Brandon Nimmo, because the dude, when he walks, it's like a fast march to first base. You always see him hustling. He usually gives you professional at-bats. He is a thorn in Spencer Strider's side. So we would eliminate that nonsense. But they gave him way too much money for way too long of a contract. First pitch on the way to Lindor is off the plate. On the outer edge of the plate, I should say. Called for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Up top for a strike, 0-2. When he signed his deal to stay with New York, I was so disappointed. Then I saw the number, and I'm like, well, that's why. Because they way overpaid for what his value is. But he's just one of my favorite players to watch. The 0-2, down and away, 1-2. The problem with Acuna is he can't really play short, so he doesn't really help you with that. Now, I mean, he's a bench player, but I think that's about all he is. 1-2, outside wide, 2-2. And he's versatile, but he has no pop. But he would be a great versatile player to have on your team. I wouldn't kick him off the team, don't get me wrong. But I don't know if I'm going to give a lot to get Lil Acuna. The 2-2, swing, lifts it down the left field line. If it's fair, it's trouble. It bounces over the wall, and that's going to be a grounds rule double. So Acuna will have to stop at third. He'll retrack his steps, and it's a 2-out double for Lindor and the Metropolitans. Yeah, but honestly, John, that doesn't bother me because he's a competitive player. You want that, and I feel like he's got some of that. I don't know if it's quite leadership, but he's got some fire. We need that kind of personality. Juan Soto, the batter, first pitch on the way, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. You can't have everybody on your team being a rah-rah guy, because at that point, nobody's paying attention, and it's just cake stands and 20-game losing streaks. And what was it that the Red Sox got yelled at for eating fried chicken in the dugout? The 0-1. Ball gets away. That should score a run. It will. And it's 7-1. Acuna comes home to score. Runner at second heads down to third. That was a wild pitch by Doval. Tell you someone else that's on a team we hate that I would love to have. I just don't know if we would ever pay the freight, because he's probably going to get a pretty good offer from his current team, and that's Kyle Schwarber. You talk about a guy that could fix the DH problem. Holy cow. Give me some Kyle Schwarber at DH. If we're fixing the team, you can tell I've had a few beers now. If we're fixing the team with teams we hate, give me Kyle Schwarber in free agency. Give me Brandon Nimmo in a trade. As the pitch on the way, the 1-1 is scalded up the middle, and Mets come home to score again. Lindor crosses the dish, and it's 8-1 New York. But you give me Kyle Schwarber as the DH. You give me Brandon Nimmo to play left, and you could still, in theory, because he played there for quite a bit of his career, you could put Jurickson Profar at short. He's not going to be a great shortstop, but he wasn't awful when he was there. And you're going to make it up with, and honestly, make sure you re-sign Nick Allen so late innings you can put him into play defense. First pitch on the way to Alonso. He's inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Oh, I love Schwarber. I just hate that he plays for Philadelphia. The 1-0. Inside 2-0. He is the definition of a professional hitter. I loved it when he was with the Red Sox in 21, and they put him out to play first base at the 2-0 right there for strike at the knees. It's 2-1. And he got just a routine play at first base right, and the crowd gave him a standing ovation. He came out and tipped his hat to the crowd. That's just great stuff. 2-1 count. Swing and a miss, 2-2. I'll tell you something else, what you always hear from his former teammates and current teammates is how much they love him because, I'm talking about Schwarber, because he leads the room. He leads by example. I've heard Harper talk about it. I've heard Bellinger when he was with the Cubs talk about it. The 2-2. Swing, fouls it back. Do it again. So a 2-2 count. Righty, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. Giants have one last chance. This is kind of ironic. It's 8-1 heading to the bottom of the ninth. We'll see if the Giants have a little magic in them like the Braves put a scare into the Rangers when we return.
Suspect is a 26-year-old female who thinks she's thick, but really she's just fat.
I thought this was a joke. Also says his blood game is strong, but I've been pregnant 10 times.
Okay, seriously, I can't help it that your reproductive system don't work.
Are you serious?
Suspect's 4'11" and looks like an Oompa Loompa.
I'm Dr. Richard, here to tell you about my exciting new drug-free treatment for children with attention deficit disorder. This treatment is fast and effective and doesn't use harmful drugs. Watch closely as I apply treatment to the first child.
Sit down and study! Sit down and study! Hey, stop crying and do your schoolwork!
If you would like more information on my bold new treatments, please send away for this free brochure.
Armchair. When you were younger and you'd only get hangovers from alcohol, but now you can get them from too much sun, too much food, not enough food, socializing too long, traffic, loud noises.
With Greg and his ways, it's amazing, that he didn't get beat up.
He was funny and unassuming, but on the mound, he cut your heart out.
So after 1995, they go to the World Series the next year against the Yankees, and Maddux is still pitching really well.
Go back and look at Game 2 that Greg Maddux pitched at Yankee Stadium. I mean, it's lost to history because they didn't win the World Series. That's one of the greatest pitched World Series games I've ever seen.
Double play ball. I think he was actually setting him up.
Just the way he would slightly move the baseball off the barrel of the Yankees hitters, time and time again.
Had him reach it.
Ground ball, ground ball, ground ball. Anytime you needed a big out, it was there.
He can chew you up and spit you out.
Just the artistry of that game, to me, was a definition of who Maddux was.
Welcome back. Lefty-righty matches to start us off. Wilmer Flores, the batter, and Castillo, the pitcher. First pitch is inside for a strike. It's 0-1. What are the chances that both games would be 8-1 going into the ninth? 0-1, fouls it back. It's 0-2. Hopefully next week's doubleheader is going to be much better. Braves are at the Reds 12:40. First pitch Friday morning for some of y'all, afternoon for a lot. The 0-2. Caught looking on the outer edge. That's an 8-1 strikeout at the bottom of the ninth. One down. And then 2:20, the Cubs start their games against Baltimore in Wrigley. We're going to catch that game in progress and give you probably the last 6 innings or so. That's next Friday, August 1st? I have that right. First pitch on the way is a ball out of the zone to Jung-Ho Lee inside. It's 1-0. Yeah, Friday, August 1st. 1-0. Down and away. 2-0. 2-0 count. And then beginning in August, we're doing ones on Mondays and Tuesdays throughout as the 2-0 pitch. That ball's ripped into center field. That's down for a base hit. And it's a leadoff or a one-out single for the Giants. Jung-Ho Lee trying to get things going here. In the bottom of the ninth. In the month of August, that Monday, August 4th, San Diego and Arizona is the back end of a doubleheader of the Braves in Milwaukee. Tuesday, August 12th is the first pitch on the way to Castillo's on the outer edge for a strike. It's 1-1. It's going to be Dodgers and Angels following the Braves game on Tuesday, August 12th, both night games. And on Monday, August 18th, the second part of the doubleheader of the Braves White Sox is San Francisco versus San Diego. That should be a good one. The 0-2 fouls it away. That's going to go more and more. I mean, the longer we get into these doubleheaders, some of these games are going to be huge. The 0-2 count. Swing, pops it back foul. Do it again. You look at the wild card standings in the National League, and coming into tonight, San Francisco was just a half game behind San Diego. That game we're doing is the pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike 3. And the Giants are down to the last out. That game with the Padres and Giants, that's going to be huge, huge series in the middle of August. Reds are still clawing around there along with the Cardinals. If Arizona still had Corbin Burns, I'd give them a fighting chance, but I think they're going to be sellers at the deadline. First pitch on the way is fouled straight back. Lefty-righty matchup with Patrick Bailey. It's 0-1. Look at the American League wild card. I mean, there's still a ton of teams I think a lot of people have forgotten about that are still hanging around. The 0-1, swing and a miss. It's 0-2. The Rangers, who beat the Braves tonight, I mean, they're just a half game out of the wild card behind the Red Sox, Mariners, and Yankees. And you got the Rays sitting right there. The Guardians, I was kind of thinking the Guardians were done, but they're only 2.5 back. The 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. That'll end the game. So we apologize for the crap fest. 2 games that were blowouts. Well, we tried to pick the big game of the night, Giants and Mets. We thought that would be a good one, especially the pitching matchup. Webb versus Holmes. I'm really shocked that Logan Webb didn't have it tonight. But the Giants will try to rebound, and they still have a chance to win the series against the Mets. At the end, it's 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Mets. 1 run, 9 hits, no errors for the Giants. Just didn't come up with the big hit. And the key to the game tonight, obviously, was Logan Webb giving up 6 runs in 4 innings. That is tough to come back. We'll step aside. We'll see you I guess technically it's tonight, 7:05 first pitch, Braves and Rangers. 6:30 will come on the air, Braves Country Radio. And Sunday is a 2:30 game, right smack dab in the middle of your Sunday fun day. For all those y'all that tuned in tonight, y'all are the real ones. Y'all are the real baseball fans. We'll see you next time. Doubleheader next week on Friday is a daytime doubleheader. So don't forget your ear pod when you're heading to work. Y'all have a good one.